When you have the law of large numbers and the law of averages, you win by default every single time. So what we've done is systematize the business. If you'd like to make $100,000 a year part-time with us, how many videos do you have to send out? We know what the ratios are. 50% will open it. 30% will have an appointment. 60 or 70% will buy. Okay, well then I just do the numbers. So how much do you want to earn?
Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Life Insurance Academy, and in studio today, all the way from Tucson, Arizona. Tucson, Arizona. Tucson, Arizona. This guy is probably one of the most energetic and fun guys to have a conversation with that I've ever met in the insurance space.
I'm excited about it for today.
And I haven't even introduced him. See, and he's already rolling. He's already rolling. We've got Dane Smith in the house from Tucson, Arizona with Wealth United. Mm-hmm. This guy, 5 kids, 30 years married, 7 grandkids. 34 years married. Yeah?
No, 34 years in the business.
34 years in the business,
yes.
And 30 years married, 5 kids, 7 grandkids, and another one on the way.
Yes.
Boom. We just had our first grandbaby, Dane.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, man.
It feels
first
good,
one. Yeah, first little one, man. Excited about that. And welcome to the Life Insurance Academy podcast. It's our first time sitting down in the studio together.
Yeah, we broke bread in La Jolla about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And I said, I got to get to know this guy. His values align with mine.
Oh,
you know, you're
awesome,
a great
man.
storyteller, Roger. Seemed like every time you walked in the room, people were just like, Roger's here. So I thought, how can I get to know this guy?
Oh, man.
And so we had a little conversation. I said, I'd love to be on a podcast one day. And here we are. So
man,
thanks
I
for
loved
having
it.
me.
I was on my way back from Cuba.
Yeah.
We were down there for a few days helping out some people, trying to figure out how we can help some people who need help in that country. Mm-hmm. And I get a text from you saying, hey, I'm coming into town with the Agency Rocket guys, and I'd love to pop over and see you. And I was like, man, let's make it happen. So as soon as I mentioned to my wife that you were coming in, she goes, oh, I love him. Your wife, Contessa?
Contessa, yeah,
Contessa?
good memory.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, very engaging. You guys were, I love that conversation. I love the dinner we had. At a winery. We had a great time
We
together.
took a delightful long cut to get there. It was kind of
that's
fun.
right. But it was very pleasant. So I love connecting with people in the industry. You know, one of the things that I think the Life Insurance Academy has done for us is it allows us to cross bridges and cross this landscape of where people think there's competition, and so you got to keep all your secrets to yourself. And in our business here at the Life Insurance Academy, we are an open book, man.
Right.
We make this platform available for everybody. And I'm a collaborator. You know that.
Right. Absolutely.
Right. And I love meeting new people. I love hearing their stories, and I love helping them win. Mm-hmm. And so when all 3 of those can come together in one opportunity, man, and when I met you and your wife, you were telling me about the wedding you were setting up for your daughter, I believe it was
in Colorado.
at the time.
Yeah.
And I know that had to be fantastic.
It was epic.
I was kind of jealous that I didn't know you longer, because I missed the invite to the wedding.
Yeah, well,
and I felt like if I'd have known you another probably a couple of more years.
Yeah, we had a short list. There was only 350 people there, but
I might have got the invite had I known you a little longer. So I was kind of like, man, that would have been a great wedding to go to, because I know they would have thrown a great party.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, man, for your success in your marriage, success as a father and as a husband. And also as a businessman, because I think a lot of those correlate. I think a lot of people determine success in life today as financial success only, and they miss these other 2 in the pursuit of success at all costs.
Yeah, right.
And I know that's not like that for you. So tell me about Dane Smith. What drives you? What's your motivation? And what new agents can learn by listening in today to this podcast?
Great question, Roger, and thanks for teeing it up for me. 34 years ago, I was a civil engineer putting roads and bridges together. And I looked around the landscape that I was going to be when I was 60. And they were all grouchy, fat smokers in the construction world. Not that they're bad guys, but, I didn't want to be one of those.
Yeah.
So I asked my dad, I said, Dad, who do you know who's wealthy that doesn't seem to work? Because that's what I want to do. And,
wealthy that doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's a great question.
So he gave me some business cards, and they all happen to be in the money business. One guy was a mortgage broker, one guy was a stockbroker, and the other guy was in the insurance business. And my wife and I had bought insurance, so I knew kind of what it was about, sort of. I had bought a whole life policy. The guy came to the house, and I listened to the pitch, and I bought it thinking it was the right thing. But I had a 401k and all the trappings. But I went to the stockbroker first, and he said, no, we don't hire part-time stockbrokers because, I couldn't give up the security of my full-time job. Then I went to the mortgage guy, and he said the same thing. But when I went to the insurance guy, he said, yeah, I'll start you part-time. I said, bingo, let's go. But, I was an engineer. I had the personality of a doorknob at that time. You laugh, but really I did. If I had saw a buddy of mine in high school at the mall, I'd probably pop into the next store because I wouldn't know what to say. So I got involved in the insurance industry primarily because when I went to this A.O. Williams meeting back in 1989 to learn how to sell term insurance, what transformed was this, Roger. The guy said he had hired me part-time, and I didn't really know what that was. I wanted freedom and a lot of money. And those two things can go together. But what I learned at that workshop was that I had the wrong life insurance, or at least I thought I did. So it ticked me off. Because, at A.O. Williams, they taught buy term, invest the difference.
Exactly.
And it's not a wrong approach, but I had a different policy than that. So I thought I had gotten taken. Yeah. So I went to the library and studied all I can because I'm a voracious reader and learned that I could have bought a lot more term insurance than that whole life policy.
Okay.
So it ticked me off. That's what got me in the industry. I thought I was taken. I was going to right a wrong, my own wrong.
Yeah. And
so that's what got me in the business.
You thought you'd made a wrong decision. You actually made a right decision.
Well, then it probably would have been the right decision to keep that policy, that whole life policy, because I was growing cash inside. That's what I got it for. But when I went to the L. Williams meeting, they told me, oh, Dane, you could buy a lot more term insurance than what you bought for those same dollars. So it made sense financially if I was hoping to die. But guess what? I was hoping to live. So I should have kept that policy. But anyway, it got me in the industry. And what really transformed was I knew that if I had been taken advantage of, others had.
Yeah.
At least that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So I started learning a lot about term insurance and built a nice team and went through the ranks and kind of got all the promotions and got the ring and the watch and all that stuff. But what really helped me understand what my passion in life was that I was moving people. I could show them how they could take statistics, data sets. If there's 40 people that you have a conversation with, most of them are going to say no, but the ones that say yes, you're going to earn income from. All I did was the math. Well, I got to talk to 40 to make $2,000. So I went through that process, and then I learned about IULs, the early 90s, and thought, wait a second, those same conversations can net me even more, and now I'm really doing some great things because I'm showing them to protect their life with living benefits, but also grow their money risk-free and tax-free. Two things everybody wants and nobody thinks is possible. So I transformed from a term insurance salesperson building a team to an IUL producer. And I was at the kitchen table virtually every night, 3 days a week, because that's all I worked. See, I never missed a field trip. I coached all my kids' sports. That's why I got in this business. So I didn't have to work 70 or 80 hours a week.
Yeah.
I did it for the freedom. But I learned that if you're serving people, they say, the bigger the problem, the bigger the paycheck. And there was a massive problem. I heard you mention that on an episode, the silent epidemic that's out there.
Yeah.
People don't know.
Yeah.
You mentioned something about financial literacy. They don't know. So my cause was, I'm going to share this information 2 or 3 days a week, and then the rest of the time, I'm going to be with my family. And I was on that journey for a long time, Roger. Loved it, built teams, but
now, was it your own business then, or you?
No, I was working for another IMO.
Okay.
A number of them, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
Enjoyed it, loved it, liked going on trips and winning awards and all that stuff, but really empowered other people on the trip with me. But I never owned it. And about 6, 7, 8 years ago, I was in Norway. My wife and I were there for a little vacation. We took about a month off. And I had always thought our industry is awesome, but we're not using technology in any capacity. And our industry is a decade and a half behind in this realm.
Yeah.
So I stood there and I said, Lord, I know I can build a team. And if I could show agents how to become great at marketing and the clients how to buy the product that we offer, and I don't have to be at the kitchen table, that'd be a home run. And Russell Brunson was starting ClickFunnels.
Okay.
And so I had this idea, what if we merge these ClickFunnel idea into our world? And that's kind of where we birthed some ideas about what to do in the marketplace. And it has been transformative because clients are being served in a way that they never thought would happen before. They thought they had to endure a conversation with the life insurance salesman, okay? But what we're doing is we're bringing to them in these short little videos and webinars a solution to their problem they know exists, but they don't know there's a solve for it.
You said something to me one time. You said, I don't hire life insurance agents.
None.
You said, I don't hire life
Very
insurance
few.
agents.
I shouldn't say none.
Yeah. You
Yep.
said, I don't hire life insurance agents. I don't prospect for that. I don't even call them that.
Right.
What do you call the people that work with you?
Debt and wealth coaches.
Debt and wealth coaches.
Right.
And what kind of a license do they need to be one of those?
A life insurance license.
So the life insurance producer's license, but your focus is not on the life insurance.
Yeah, let's say.
Your focus is on the vehicle of life insurance to provide a solution. And what's the problem that you're solving?
Well, the problem is a huge problem. And you've talked about this on a couple of other podcasts. The vast majority of people are in debt and they want a way out. They just don't know there is a way out except to do the guru on the radio program, cut your lifestyle, eat beans and weenies, and someday magically you're going to be fine. That doesn't happen. Let's say you and I are at a party and you walk in and I'm over in the corner and the hosts, you say, hi, Janet, who's that guy in the corner? And Janet says, oh, that's Dane. And she says, and you say, what's he do? And she says, sells life insurance. Are you going to come talk to me?
No.
Probably not, right?
I already got an agent.
Correct. Now, if Janet says, oh, that's Dane, he helps people eliminate their debt and grow wealth. He's helped everybody in this party. What are you going to do?
I probably want to find out
You're
how.
going to come over and talk to me, right?
Yeah.
So we position the conversation different. We're debt and wealth coaches.
Because you're using a life insurance product for the purpose of eliminating debt and teaching
right.
people how to build wealth.
Yep.
Which is like the opposite, right?
Of what?
It's like the anti-traditional life insurance agent or what people think about when they think about buying a life insurance product.
Right.
So they think about life insurance. They should just call it death insurance for the people who think of it that way because it's designed when you die, your family gets a benefit, and that's what life insurance is, right? Get as low as this. And all those ads people see on the radio for insurance as low as this is basically term insurance with the lowest possible price. And they always quote like a 10-year term for a 38-year-old healthy female.
Right. Well, that was the industry I was in for the first 5 years of my career.
Correct.
It was term insurance. It was the only thing on the planet. Everybody else was an enemy.
Yeah.
You know, they're a scumbag.
Yeah.
But I did some research that the insurance that we offer is term insurance plus a savings account. And that savings account has a couple of different features to it.
And it has some protections.
Yeah.
What are the protections?
About what? Protect the
in
paycheck?
the products that you're utilizing. Because for our listeners on here, here's what they're getting. Man, this guy is fired up. He is excited. He believes in what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's been in this industry a long time, and he's passionate about helping other people win. And they don't even understand how this works because they're like, final expense is a $15,000 benefit to help people with burial. Mortgage protection term has some living benefits to protect their mortgage. What's he so fired up about?
Yeah. Well, at that kitchen table, that same person could have this secondary conversation. Joe and Mary, you need mortgage protection because you have a mortgage, correct?
Correct.
What if there a way to pay off this mortgage in a fraction of the time with the same money you're spending? Do you want me to keep it a secret or to tell you about it?
I want to know.
Great. See, that's a pivot. See, what I've enjoyed about my career so far is I've been able to pivot from, I was an IUL guy forever. Whole life is, the spawn of the devil. I'm not going to go towards whole life. Okay.
Because of kind of your early
because
career.
I was an IUL guy.
But your early career too,
Right.
buy term, invest the difference
So
thing.
polarizing.
Right? Yeah.
Just like politics today.
Yeah. Yeah.
So early on, buy term, invest the difference. There's nothing else out there.
Yeah.
Then I went to IUL. Oh, there's nothing out there. Now what I'm doing, Roger, is I'm showing people that have a heart for people. People that they say your vibe attracts your tribe, right? So the people that are attracted to us are the ones that want to make a difference, but they don't want to be offensive. They don't want to be, a dictator. So what we share is options for people. And it comes down to almost an IQ test. When I'm using software that shows a side-by-side comparison of here's what you have compared to what you could have, they usually pick the right one.
Correct.
So it's when you have the law of large numbers and the law of averages, you win by default every single time. So what we've done is systematize the business. If you'd like to make $100,000 a year part-time with us, how many videos do you have to send out? We know what the ratios are. 50% will open it. 30% will have an appointment. 60 or 70% will buy. Okay, well then I just do the numbers. So how much do you want to earn? So there's no mystery here. But how do we make life insurance something other than a conversation at the kitchen table that nobody really wants to talk about? We don't talk about it that way. See, they say if you want to keep a secret, you put it in a book because nobody's going to read it. There are thousands of books out there that tell the secrets, how the wealthy have been growing money, risk-free and tax-free. But Joe and Mary Campbell, they don't read the books. So we have to go tell them. That's our job. So just tell the story. That's what we do here.
Here's my next question.
Oh, sorry,
for you.
Roger.
Here's my next question, and I don't even know if you're. I mean, I don't even know where we're going to go with this. What's your mission and your passion?
Oh my gosh, I don't know, Roger.
He's already fired up. Everybody in the studio's laughing. This guy is on fire.
Well,
we need to have like drops of fire falling here, Adam. Like fire burning behind him, engines revving. I don't know, something fun.
It's not like this with Eric. You bring out the best in me, Roger.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. You're just a passionate dude. You believe in. Here's what I like about Dane. I want to pause for a minute. Can you tell that Dane believes what he's saying, right? We talk about the 5 fundamentals of the sale, the 5 pillars of the structural sale, and it starts with what? Belief. Belief, the transfer of belief. This dude believes what he's talking about. If he's sitting at my table or if he's over the Zoom with me,
right?
Dude, I am listening. He believes what he believes. He knows what he knows. Are you that person? And if you're not, maybe you can catch a little bit of his. So keep listening because he's going to reveal a little bit about what he does for his agency. Wealth United. We're going to find out what his mission and his passion is in life because it's probably not all about life insurance.
No, it isn't about life insurance. I mean, life insurance, just like when we grow our money, I don't care that it's that product. I want the end result.
That's right.
You said something that just a second ago, and I'll try to remember. I'm near 62, so it's the memory. I've got a great memory. It's the recall that's the problem. I was listening to one of your podcasts. Chris was talking about tempo, and he talked about tonality and how important it is. And that conviction comes through on the phone or on a Zoom or when you're talking face to face. And I believe in what we offer because I've done the math. This is logic. There's no emotion in here. So when we're helping people understand their options, it's not an emotional decision. We don't back the hearse up saying, you love your wife, don't you? You should buy some life insurance. That's how I was taught. But this industry doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
Yes, you should know the products inside and out. But your clients don't care that they know. They want to know that you know. And that comes through. So learn about the products so you can understand them. So if they ask you a question, you'll know how to answer that question. But they really don't want to know all of it. They want to know it's good and that you believe it and you're going to be there for them.
They want to trust you.
That's right. It's a trust thing. And so not everybody's going to be like me, ramped up, okay? You don't have to be. I hope you're not, okay? Because sometimes it gets in the way. I go to the restaurant and, Dane, would you sit down, okay? But it's just fun.
Stop laughing in the peanut gallery over there, everybody. You guys have experienced that.
What's my mission?
Yeah, what's your mission? What's your passion in life, man? What
You know,
What gets you out of bed in the morning? What drives you? What's in
Yeah.
your heart? That's what I want to know.
the insurance is the vehicle that can get me there
Yeah.
and market this product that is so desperately needed.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I believe that God created me for greatness, whatever that greatness is. And he didn't put me here to muddle through. He put me here to win.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there's this new meme or reel on Instagram right now that says when you wake up in the morning, you have two choices: lay in your bed with your dreams or get up and get after them.
Mm-hmm.
And what gets me up in the morning is to know that there are thousands of people that could benefit from this story that we have, but they don't know it yet. And if I can teach debt and wealth coaches how to tell the story in a way that's compelling, then it's like that little girl on the beach that is picking up starfish, and she throws one out there and then picks up another one, throws one out there. And there's another lady over there that says, "Hey, what are you doing?" She says, "I'm a starfish saver." She says,
There's thousands.
"There's thousands of them." She says, "Yep, but I just saved that one."
Yeah.
So what gets me up? There are thousands and thousands of families that want to have a conversation with somebody who is genuinely interested in their well-being. And we have a solution to a huge problem of theirs, which is money. They don't know how it works.
Yeah.
And we take the mystery out of money. And all the wealthy own what we offer, but the middle class don't. So check this out. If our little firm, and we're a little company, soon to be a larger one, but if we could get 0.5% of the marketplace, I'd be a bazillionaire. Now, what am I going to do with that money, Roger? That's why I like your values so well. We align. I think your idea would be just like mine. I'm going to be a reverse tither. If I'm making $1 billion, I'm going to live on 100 million. The rest of it's going to go to the church. So they can go to Cuba and make a difference in people's lives. This is just a vehicle to allow me to express who God has made me to change lives all over the country. That's what this is about.
It's so weird that you said reverse tither. We were just having a conversation about that 3 days ago in Cuba.
Did you put it on paper? Is that your goal?
It's written in our notes, you know,
Nice.
to get to a place where you can live on 10% of your income
Right.
instead of giving 10% of your income.
Right.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
And we're empowering agents to do that one agent at a time, one family at a time.
Right. Yeah, it didn't happen overnight. It happened 34 years. You know, I'm going to be known as an overnight success. Coming on the Life Insurance Insurance Academy podcast, I'm being an overnight success. 34 years to get here.
Yeah.
So
I know. It's like that.
Sorry, I keep
everywhere.
blowing your name.
No, that's
I should
right.
read
That's
it.
fine.
It's right
yeah,
there.
Yeah. How do you, you're building an agency, right, with Wealth United. How do you hope to pass on this education to the agents that work with you, the wealth and debt coaches? I call them counselors.
Yeah.
When I asked you, I said, what was it you call them, counselors? And you said coaches. And sometimes we need a little counseling.
We do.
You know, and I thought about that for a minute when you said coaches versus what I said, counseling. And I thought about, you know, sometimes a coach is saying, man, if you would just trust me in the process and step up to bat and swing like I'm telling you to, you're going to start getting the results.
Right.
That counselor side is that part that says, man, I know you're going through a struggle right now. I see you. I see your family. Here's some things we can do about it. Have you thought about this? Are you leaning into this relationship? Are you investing in yourself? Are you studying? Are you working hard? And are you staying disciplined with your consistency? And I mentioned this before, and I'll say it again. It's at the front end of all of our trainings. I'm like, it's the discipline of your consistency that will be the biggest determiner of your success, of your result. And I don't even want to say success because people have different.
They define it differently.
They define it differently. Some people define success as a lot of money.
The rings and the
Like
Lambos.
Mother
and all
Teresa probably would have defined it as impact.
Right.
That had nothing to do with money.
Right.
But it was still the discipline of her consistency of showing up. You know, and man, I see you as a passionate person, and I've watched you around your wife. Okay, I'm going to edify you for a minute now. I'm going to edify you for a minute, man. And you treat her like a queen. I've seen you do it when nobody's watching, or when I don't even think you care if anyone's watching.
You're going to make me cry,
And
Roger.
I've seen how you care for her and edify her. and like you're like a role model for people, and it's visible, it's evident. So you have people that are coming behind you now, right? We're nowhere. I like to think that I'm nowhere near the twilight of my career.
Me either.
And well, I can tell by your passion and energy. I don't know what you're eating, but I need to get on the Dane Smith diet. But you have passion in every area of your life to care for people because you're passionate about people for a purpose. And so this desire for impact is huge in you. I can only assume that you care for your own agents and the next generation the same way. How are you doing that? And what could agents expect if they're working with you?
Thanks, Roger. They can expect me. I mean, to be me. This is who I am. You mentioned something about giving away the secret sauce. That's what you're doing here. But there's a gap in execution, which is where the problem lies in our industry. See, we can give away all the secrets, but those of us that are going to be successful with this is because they execute. There's no secret to this, really. Okay? People want to be felt that they're heard and they're special, right? That's why we got in this industry, to make a difference. So when somebody aligns with our vision, there's a lot of starfish out there. Let's go save some of them. And they're not afraid to get a few no's, because you're going to get a few no's. But you know your coach is there and your teammates are there. Deion Sanders is doing a great job out in Colorado because his players are like, man, I'll follow that guy to the moon.
Deion Sanders?
Yeah. Now I'm nowhere near Deion Sanders, okay? But what I am saying is that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, right? And so we share our values with people and they get it. We're on a mission together. And I think one of the other podcasts that Chris mentioned was that, you don't come to a widow and say, did she have any coverage? You kind of talk first about, I heard that happened. How are you feeling? You show them you care. Yeah. So people who are attracted to Wealth United are coming on board because, one, they're generally not an insurance agent. You mentioned that earlier. Yeah. Sometimes I have to help them unlearn what they learned the first time, so we can
start fresh.
Start fresh.
Yeah, start on a fresh foundation.
And that's a challenge. So what I'm doing is I'm going into different verticals. There are mortgage people out there that would never wear an insurance hat, correct? They don't want to be an insurance person, but they have this block of business that needs to hear about how they can get out of debt. So we're showing those mortgage professionals how to leverage this new conversation. Joe and Mary, if I can show you how to eliminate that mortgage I sold you 2 years ago, would you want to hear about it? They're going to say, yeah. So then we do some referral partnership with that mortgage person. And so we're getting into different verticals by helping other entities solve problems they have.
That's great.
And most of the time, they understand that there's no magic bullet. But if they can link up with somebody who sees where they already are. See, when people say yes to Wealth United, I'm already in the future. Take offense to this, but I'm already in the future. I'm just telling them what it's going to feel like when they get here. Yeah. So they're buying into that's what it's going to look like down the road. Because data is changing, integration, technology. That's where we need to head as an industry, and very few companies are doing that. You guys are doing it here. I'm just thrilled to be here because I looked around your campus and went, oh my gosh, these guys are leveling up in their excellence. So good job.
That's awesome, man. One final question as we wrap. A lot of young people listen to our podcast. A lot of guys watch YouTube.
Yeah.
I think the numbers are about 82% of our audience on YouTube is male. Yeah. And
Were you surprised by that?
And they skew younger. No, I wasn't surprised. I actually heard that number before. We just know that ladies are more, they listen to Audible, they listen to podcasts more.
Guys are visual.
And there's a skew towards people sourcing content on YouTube that leans towards guys, and they're in that younger demographic. So if I could rewind your life and you were to give some advice to your younger self, same age these guys are now, sourcing information, trying to level up, trying to make a difference in their own family. Some of them are not married. Some of them are married. Some of them are struggling with their finances. Some of them maybe screwed up in their first relationship because of finances, because of their push for success at the expense of their families. And then there's young ladies who are trying to navigate this new dynamic coexistence world, coming out of college, trying to find their way with independence to chase maybe a business for the first time of their own instead of a corporate job or instead of trying to find a job in a traditional career. You had to rewind Dane's life 40 years. What advice would you give to yourself that would be pertinent to them?
Well, without sounding arrogant, I wouldn't do anything different because I thought different then. I looked ahead 40 years from then. What would I be like if I stayed in that same career? So that was the first distinction. I'd say I wouldn't take myself as serious then, because we overestimate what we can get done in a year and we underestimate what we can get done in 5 years. So give yourself a break. I'd say if the thought of your friends and family retiring on half of what they can't live on now makes you angry that the system has set them up that way, you should do something about it. Our industry, we need more people. It doesn't matter what color you are, religion you are, anything. Your vibe is gonna attract your tribe. So my advice to somebody 40 years younger than me, 22, get started in an industry you can make the most impact in and leverage that time. Because if you do this well early on, we don't get paid as much in the early years, but we get paid a lot more in the back end because of the residuals and all the clients and the referrals. This is a great industry to be part of because the market's always expanding. People are getting in debt. Wall Street's not going to stop what they're doing. So find a product you can love and get behind. It's if you light yourself on fire, people will come watch you burn. Just get passionate about what we're doing because we're solving people's lives. Don't take yourself so serious and learn. But don't tell everyone you talk to everything you know. Okay? Tell a story like Roger does. I got in your conference room, you talked about Cuba, and tears were coming to my eyes. Storyteller. That's what we do in this industry. So have fun. Make an impact. And most of all, make your family your ministry. I got in this industry so I'd never miss a field trip, and I didn't. And now that my children are all grown, I'm working 60, 70 hours a week. I've flipped the script because I can.
Yeah.
I don't see myself doing anything but this. Lord willing. I mean, I don't see retirement in the Bible, so I'm not looking at retiring. Okay. So anyway, it's a blast to be here with you.
Well, I want to tell you, it's been a pleasure having you. Your energy's infectious. I always love getting around. So when you said you were in town and wanted to come by, I was like, yes, let's do it.
Yeah.
So if you're watching today and you got some vibe with his vibe, and maybe your vibe's attracted to his tribe, what's the best way they can connect with you, man?
LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I guess there's no Twitter. Now it's called X, okay? All Wealth United. You can find me on all the social platforms. Starting a new channel on Instagram, a little more designed towards me. I think I got one post on there right now. I like technology.
Dane Smith? What's your handle?
No, it's, what's your handle
on LinkedIn?
Wealth Plan Dane.
Wealth Plan Dane.
At
Instagram.
On Instagram, yeah. Wealth United at LinkedIn.
Okay. But they can find you on Facebook, LinkedIn, Dane Smith.
Dane N. Smith. So there's a lot of Dane Smith, so I had to put the N in there.
D-A-N-E.
N. Smith.
Dane N. Smith. Cool. Thanks, man, for being here.
Oh, it's been my pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. Love having you. Love your passion. Love your mission.
Let's go to the races.
And we'll talk about maybe going to Cuba.
Oh, Cuba.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe on the next one.
I like it.
All right.
Thanks, Roger.
Guys, if you want to be a difference maker, connect with people like Dane. Find some people. He said, don't take yourself too serious. Always be learning and look ahead to your future and say, what do I want my life to be like? You have to find people that have the life like the life you want and get around them. And that's called the tribe. So if your vibe matches his tribe, look him up and stay listening to the Life Insurance Academy podcast. We'll see you on the next one.